Hello yogis, welcome to this week's practice on breath, an all-time favourite of mine. Just really should be the theme of every single practice we ever do. But this week we really drop into it, we sink into our breath and sync up our body, our movement with that rhythm. I hope you really enjoy it. Get some comfy clothes on, get on your mat, get comfy, and let's get started. Alright yogis, we're starting in lying down position, supine, to start off with today so that we can really tap into that feeling of breathing into our bellies. So lie yourself down on your mat, stretch out nice and long, get comfy and settle into the earth. If you have any props or anything that you find super useful for getting comfortable on the earth, by all means take them here, get a cushion under your head, take your time, maybe get a sofa cushion under the knees, but most importantly, find a place where you can settle into it for a few moments, where you can settle into your body and let your body settle into the earth. Straight away, once you're ready, bring your hands to rest somewhere on the body. So just close the eyes and just bring that slow movement in, hands drawing to the front of the body. Where do they naturally land? And if you're asking the question, am I doing this right? The answer is yes. And the second answer is trust. Trust that you're doing this right. For more practice on that, you can go back to last week's video, entirely themed around trust. But for now, just trust that you're resting your hands in a place that will be useful today. And just start to notice the feeling of the breath in the body. Start to observe where you fill up on each inhale and where you melt down a little on each exhale. Where does the breath touch the body first? Come into that seat of the observer, just watching, noticing. Then slowly start to deepen the breath, start to really fill up all the way down into the belly and feel as your hands rise up towards the sky. Then let each exhale completely soften you down to the earth. So start to connect to a deep grounding breath here. And just feel its power. Slowly over time, as we start to bring our attention to our breath, we start to feel its power. We start to feel the power of the breath in the body. The power of the breath to change how we feel and how we move. So here, just really tap into that feeling of each inhale filling you up and each exhale releasing you down. Get curious as to how it feels. Notice how much you can soften on each breath out. Last few here in stillness, and I'll give you some silence just to observe, to notice. Nice, and then slowly start to bring movement into fingers and toes in a way that feels most natural to you. So it's as if you're breathing energy into those parts of the body.
then your body will know how best to wake up and start moving here. So take a moment to bring little movements into ankles and wrists, hands and feet. And then move in a way that feels good to slowly bring yourself to a comfortable seat. So this is not a do this right now. This is a take your time. Keep breathing. Notice how the body feels along the way. And in your own time, we will all meet in a comfortable seat. Hands resting upright on the knees. Maybe just open to the sky, or maybe taking a Chi Mudra. Landing here, head over heart, heart over pelvis. Check in straight away with how it feels to breathe in this upright position. Is it easier or more challenging to feel the breath fill you up and ground you down? And here we're going to come into a practice of Ujjayi breathing. So if you're familiar with this already, just get a bit curious, take on a beginner's mind and see what you can take away from this opportunity. And if you've never practiced Ujjayi breathing before, don't worry, it's all good, we'll take our time. If it feels uncomfortable or you're not sure at any point, you can come back to your natural breath. So this is an option. Ujjayi breathing is really powerful in our practice because the way that we breathe restricts the space that the air can travel through by breathing just through the nose instead of the mouth. And this builds heat in the body, so heat to burn away any impurities and heat to power the muscles, the movement in the body. It also purifies the air, and it also brings a little bit of moistness to the air. And all of this allows us to kind of lubricate our practice, to fuel our practice. But the most important thing is that this Ujjayi breath forces us to slow down. You have to breathe slowly when you're breathing in and out through your nose. And this focusing on slowing down, on being really purposeful with our breathing, eventually allows us to be victorious over the mind fluctuations. And that's the whole meaning of Ujjayi. Ujjayi breath is the victorious breath. So just have a little play, have a go, see how it goes for you. We're going to start off by bringing one hand, whichever works for you, just in front of the face, and imagine it's a mirror that you want to fog up. Everyone take an inhale together, sit up tall. And a long breath out through the mouth as if you're fogging up your mirror. Nice. Again, inhale. Fog up the mirror on the exhale. Do this one more time. And notice how as you breathe out, you're gently restricting the muscles of the throat to create this sound. Now, next time, inhale through the nose. This time, seal the lips and just exhale through the nose, but with that same restriction of the throat. So releasing the hand now, inhale. And exhale with the restriction in the throat. Either gaze at the video, or you can close down the eyes or soften your gaze to the earth. And just focus on this inhaling and exhaling with a slight restriction in the throat, where you can hear the breath entering and leaving the body. Big breath in, which flows straight into a long breath out, which in turn flows straight into a long inhale. And the cycle continues. So see if you can keep breathing Ujjayi here. And let's try and connect that to a gentle movement as we do so. So long breath in first. Ujjayi breath out. And then inhaling, sweep your hands wide into the sky. Exhale, just float them down by your side. Maybe follow the hands with the gaze. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, rain the fingers down, chin draws to chest as you breathe out. And as we breathe like this and move, I invite you to consider that maybe instead of breathing through our nose or mouth, we are in fact breathing through our throat. So as if there's a whole new airway opened up in the throat, and that is where the breath is traveling through. Last long breath out here. Next inhale, just reach the hands forward, stretch the fingers out. Exhale, bring the palms down onto the mat. Make your way to all fours and check in straight away that your elbow creases are shining forward in space. So this just allows us to open up across the chest. Now check back in with the breath. Inhale. Exhale to press away from the earth. And we'll come into another little flow with our breath. Inhale, right hand wide and up to the sky. Exhale, thread the needle under the left elbow and reach over to the side. Inhale, reach right hand up and high. Ujjayi breath out as we thread the needle, reach to the left. Last flow like this. Exhale, reach, and this time soften the right shoulder down, right ear down, and press the left hand into the earth. So here we sit in stillness with the breath, and see if we can continue breathing deep into both lungs despite the twist here. So breathing just as much into that right lung as the left lung here. Maybe you press into your left hand to open the heart up a little more. 2 more breaths, inhaling. Exhaling. Last big breath in. Long breath out. Nice. On your inhale, right hand reaches all the way up to the sky. Spread your wing, reach high. Hand comes to the earth, breath out. Straight into the left side. Left hand opens up, reach for the sky, open twist. Exhale, thread the needle, reach across to the right. Inhale, open it up, flow with your breath. And exhale, thread the needle, reach across. 1 more like this, spreading your wing wide, reaching high. Exhale, thread the needle, reach over to the right side and soften the left shoulder down, left ear down to the earth. And start to settle into the stillness and settle into your breath here. So give yourself some time. Find a deep inhale and a deep exhale. 2 more big breaths in. Long breaths out. And just observe for this last one. Where is the challenge in the breath? Where is it sticking? Next breath in, you open wide, left hand to the sky. As you breathe out, place both hands on the mat. Coming back to a neutral spine, pressing into the hands and feet. And then next inhale, a slow cat-cow. So really take your time. Center drops down, heart opens, full breath in here. Press into the mat as you exhale, round chin to chest, stretch the skin of the back body. Back to neutral, inhale. Tuck the toes and exhale your way to downward facing dog. Take your time. Inhale to arrive. And exhale to land. And then find your flow here. Maybe you walk out one knee then the other. Move at a pace that your body is craving. Find a movement that opens you up. And then find a breath that matches that. So expansive inhales here, reaching your hips to the sky. And grounding exhales, planting your foundations firmly into the earth. 2 more breaths. Last big inhale. Long exhale. Come high on the toes, look forward, breathe in. Bend the knees and a slow walk to the front as you breathe out. Take your time. Halfway lift to arrive. A version that works in your body. So maybe you come up high for this first one. Then melt it down as you exhale, ragdoll. Hands gently clasp opposite elbows or fingertips melt towards the mat. 3 breaths here, either in movement or stillness. Just find your breath and notice how it feels here to use your exhales to completely release in the head and neck. 2 more breaths in. Breaths out. Last full expansive inhale. Allow hands to melt down if they're not already on the exhale. And then a slow roll up on the breath in. Take your time, and as you arrive, shoulders come up and down, breath out. Then let's sweep hands to the sky on the inhale. Draw them into heart on the exhale. Close down the eyes for a moment, chin to chest, bowing mind intelligence to body intelligence. And really, this is what we do when we let breath be our primary focus. We are handing over the reins to the body, and we're just fully completing that 3-way connection of mind, body, and spirit. And for me, this breath, this powerful tool, is our spirit. It's what moves us, it's what gives us life, energy. So when we can use our breath to move our body, and our mind just takes a little back seat, that's where that connection comes back in. So let's see if we can tap into that as we flow through some movements in today's class. 1 more breath in here. Firmly ground into the feet as you breathe out. And then inhale, sweep your hands wide and high. Exhale, slice a line through center with your hands as you bow. Halfway lift, inhale, your version, find length. Exhale, soften, bow, release, forward fold. Reach to the sky on the inhale, arms come straight up or out wide. Hands to heart, breath out. Now flow with your inhale, reach up. Let that flow straight into an exhale as you bow down. A continuous cycle, inhale, halfway lift. 1 flowing into the next as you bow. Straight to the sky, breathe in. Hands to heart, breathe out. Last one, inhale, reach. Exhale, bow. Lift up halfway. Soften and fold. Straight to the sky, really long side bodies. Hands to heart, breathe out. And we just add on, step into the front of our mat, inhale. Bow through center, exhale. Lift halfway, inhale. As you exhale, this time plant the hands. Right foot steps or slides back, inhale. Just lower the right knee on the exhale. Hands float to the sky, breathe in. Rain it down as you breathe out, come back to earth. Straighten back leg as you inhale. Press down and lift up, downward facing dog, exhale. Breath in to arrive. Breath out to land. Look forward, right foot steps up, inhale. Left knee softens down, exhale. Inhale, hands float to the sky, find softness, sukha. Exhale, rain them down to the earth. Tuck back toes straight and inhale. Power up, downward facing dog. Exhale, a full round of breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. High on the toes, look forward. Inhale. Bend the knees and step or walk to the front. Exhale. Halfway lift, big breath in. Bow, big breath out. Gentle bend of the knees. Then reach straight up for the sky as you inhale. And reset on the exhale, hands to heart. Left side, inhale, reach up. Exhale, slice that line down. Halfway lift, breathe in, fill up. Bow on the exhale, plant the hands. Left foot steps back, inhale. Left knee drops, exhale. Hands reach up on the breath in. Slight difference this time, just left hand down on the breath out. Open up to the right side, big twist, inhale. Now we rain the right fingers down as we breathe out. Tuck back toes, straighten the leg, inhale. Step it back, down dog, exhale. Full breath in here. And as you exhale, just soften in the shoulders and the head. Left foot steps forward on the inhale. Left knee lowers, exhale. Reach it up to the sky on the breath in. Right hand down, breath out. Left hand opens up, twist, inhale. Exhale, rain it down, plant the hands. Tuck back toes straight and inhale. Step it back, down dog, exhale. Huge breath in. Long breath out, earth. 2 more like that. Inhaling to the sky, hips reach high. And exhaling as you soften and melt the heart back. Last one, big breath in. Big breath out. Inhale, high to the toes, look forward. Bend the knees, exhale, step it up. Halfway lift, breath in. Bow on the exhale. Straight to the sky we go, breath in. Hands to heart, breathe out. Reset, eyes closed. Bowing head to heart. Mind to body. So for our first part of our practice there, we flowed with our breath, and often it's easy to keep that connection and keep the focus when there's one breath with one movement. Now as we add on and we stick with each pose maybe for a little bit longer, see if you can keep that breath flowing. See if the breath can be what moves you and what keeps you in that present moment. And if not, like if you get distracted, it's okay. Just do your best and keep breathing. Last breath out here. Inhale, reach your hands to the sky. Exhale, bow through center. Halfway lift, inhale. Bow, plant the hands, exhale. Right foot steps back, this time to high plank. So exhale your left foot to meet it and land here. Now remember, you always have the option to lower the knees. You can always kick up the toes and cross the ankles if you're feeling a bit fancy. And wherever you are, remind yourself that you are strong. Press into the hands, dome into the upper back and lift up out of the earth. Hips are in line with the shoulders. Now last huge breath in here, shift forward on the tippy toes and then lower all the way down to the earth on your breath out. 3 baby cobras. Keep it low for these first 3. Inhaling to lift and open. Exhaling to soften to earth. Inhale, heart spreads wide. Exhale, bow down. Last one with your breath. Push up through all fours, breathe in. Downward facing dog, peel it up and that, breathe out. Huge breath into arrive. And as always, land on your breath out. Now ground into the left heel, right heel to the sky as you inhale. Look forward, shift it up and over as you step to the front. Exhale. Land in your foundation, big breath in. Firm down into your strong legs as you breathe out. And slow inhale, rise hands to heart. Land on your exhale in your crescent lunge, Untitled. So find a firm foundation in the feet. And then find a little softness, a little movement in the upper body. Let your inhales fill you up. Your exhales ground you down. Next breath in grows your fingertips to the sky. Joyful pose in the upper body. Fierce and strong in the lower body. One more huge breath in. Come high on the back toes. Warrior 2, breathe out. Right hand forward, left hand back. And just pivot on the back foot so that you're grounding the foot into the earth and the toes are pointing straight out the edge of the mat. Now just check in with the left shoulder, draw it back in space. Just pivot through the neck, gaze over the front middle finger. Big breath in. Long breath out to soften. Inhale here. Exhale. Now some of you might recognize this sequence if you were with us last week for trust. So see if now it's the second time of flowing through it in a couple of weeks. If you can find that familiarity in the body and breathe through it. So inhale here. Exhale to stay. Then straighten the front leg, inhale. Sassy hips to the back of the mat as you exhale. Reach forward into the fingertips, breath in. Right hand down, left hand high. Breath out, Trikonasana. So reaching to the sky on the inhale, pivoting the heart to match it so that your gaze is either up or straight out the side of the room. No gazing down to the earth because wherever we look, that's where our energy goes. So lift up, 2 more breaths here. See if you can tap into that ujjayi. Last breath in. Stay for the breath out, maybe smile. Inhale all the way up, open out. Exhale, bend the front knee, warrior 2. Flip the front hand, well done. Peaceful warrior, inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, cartwheel all the way down to the earth. Low lunge, inhale onto the fingertips, shine the heart forward. Exhale, plant the hands and step back. High plank, round 2. So again, take a version that works for you. Maybe shift back and forward, tap into your strength. And just embrace this. There are only 3 of these in today's practice. So use this chance to build strength in your core, in your arms, in your entire body really. And then if you are experimenting with chaturanga to up dog, maybe you take that version into this vinyasa, or you lower to the earth and take cobra. So big inhale to shift forward wherever you are. Lower to chaturanga or to the earth, exhale. Cobra or upward facing dog, breath in. And then take your time to make your way to downward facing dog. Breath out, huge breath in whenever you arrive. This time breath out through the mouth. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, clear out some of the heat in the body. Nice. And then next inhale, right foot grounds, left heel lifts to the sky. Exhale, shift forward, step it up and over the imaginary hurdle as you breathe out to land. Huge inhale here. Exhale, grow strong in your legs. And then paint a line with your line of sight, forward and up. Rise up, hands to heart. Then land here and consider this. What if we could use the power of our breath, the energy that it creates, to power our practice? So what if we could harness that energy? And that is the thing that moves us when we're on our mat. Every inhale giving us a little more expansion, opening, growth. Every exhale lending us a groundedness, a softness. Maybe that resonates for you here. And on your next inhale, you grow fingertips to the sky, finding a lightness, and then earthing into the feet, into your foundation. Take a big breath in. Shoulders soften, breath out. High on the back toes, breathe in, fingers high. Warrior 2 as you breathe out. Ground into the back foot, left hand forward, right hand back. Land here. Take a huge inhale. And really bend into that front knee as you exhale, but keep head over heart, heart over pelvis. Last big breath in. Fierce gaze straight forward as you breathe out. Now straighten the front leg, inhale. Get sassy in the hips, kick them to the back as you exhale. Inhale, reach, reach, reach. Exhale, just pivot that left hand down to the inside of the left thigh. And now inhale, reach to the sky. Trikonasana on this side, triangle pose. 3 breaths, I'm going to get quiet. Just breathe. Last big inhale. Stay for the exhale. Come upright, breath in. Warrior 2, breath out, bend front knee. Peaceful warrior, inhale, paint the sky. And exhale, paint it back, down to the earth. High on the fingertips, low lunge, breathe in. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back, last high plank. Staying for 5, 4, 3, maybe whisper to yourself, I am strong. 2, and on the 1, shift forward. Exhale, lower down, your version of a vinyasa. Inhale, heart opens. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a huge breath in. And on your breath out, melt it down to extended child's pose. Knees wide, big toes to touch. Seat melts back, fingertips reach forward. Everything melts to the earth. Use every exhale here to embrace a sense of sukha, of softness in the body. We have a whole video coming up on sukha, but just see if you can find a resting place that heals your body here. And embrace the stillness, letting your breath be what moves you. Last few rounds of breath here. Using your inhales to fill up, stretch the skin of the back body to the sky. Using your exhales to melt you down to the earth. You're in this perfect balancing place between the two, sky pressing down on you from above, earth lifting you up from below. Last big inhale here. Long exhale. Slowly lift your forehead and walk your hands in towards your body on the inhale. Just shift your knees to center. Rest your hands in your lap. One hand first, then other hand faces up on top of it. Close down the eyes. Virasana, hero's pose. But in this version today, we're just going to drop the chin all the way down into the chest. So keep the shoulders drawing back, open across the heart space, but really stretching through the back of the neck, closing off through the front of the throat. And then see if you can connect back with your Ujjayi breath here. So sealing the lips, inhaling and exhaling with a slight restriction in the back of the throat. Notice if this is easier or more challenging when we close off this area of the body. And whichever, sit with it, breathe through it, do your best. Last couple of breaths here. Last inhale. Long, loud exhale. Slowly bring head back upright. And bat open the eyes. Nice. So now you are ready to come into a little bit of shoulder stand play. So if you have any sort of fear wrapped up around this, don't worry, we're going to build it up really slowly. And if at any point it's uncomfortable or painful in the shoulders or the lower back, you can come out of it. You can come back to this breath here, or you can come to Supta Baddha Konasana, lying on the earth. So if you can find, I'm just taking my hair out because if you have anything pressing on the back of your head, it would be really hard to come into this. So if you have a ponytail, you can just take it out now. And then see if you can get a nice clear wall space, or if you don't have that, you can use the edge of a table or even the edge of a sofa. So feel free to pause the video, or once you see what I'm doing, then pause the video. But we need to line ourselves up. So we're lying on the earth, the seat is a little bit away from the wall, and the feet are up on the wall, or in this case I'm using the radiator, it works quite well. You can do this against the edge of a table or any piece of furniture where you can press against it and start to lift the hips up. So I'll give you a moment to sort that out, or you can pause the video. Now when you arrive, bring your arms by your sides, palms face down, and just experiment with tilting the hips away from you and towards you in this position. Come back to your Ujjayi breath and find a focus point on the ceiling where you can keep your gaze fixed. Absolutely no taking your head from side to side or looking at the video for this, because you have to protect your neck as you move. So please just listen to the sound of my voice and follow that until you come all the way back down. Alright, which is probably good because my head's probably being cut off here in the video anyway. So when you're nice and set up here and you've practiced that tilting in the pelvis, come to stillness, focus your fierce gaze to the sky, take a big breath in, a long breath out, and then slowly press into the feet to lift the hips up to the sky, bringing the hips as high as you can and then supporting the lower back with your hands. So upper arms are on the earth. Now see if you can squeeze the elbows in as tight as possible and walk your hands down your back as far as possible. Now just stay here for a moment, breathe in, breathe out. And just notice how it feels to breathe in this slightly restricted position, or let's face it, very restricted position, with chin drawn into the chest and you're upside down. Heart is higher than the head. So this is an inversion here, you can stay with it. Or maybe you practice lifting one foot to the sky. Notice the foot will tend to come over the head. Focus on bringing it up to the sky instead. Pointed toes or flexed, whichever works for you. Then you can switch legs and bring the other leg up to the sky. Stay for a couple of breaths. At any point if you need to come down, go for it. And then maybe you try lifting both legs to the sky, supporting yourself with your hands, reaching your toes up high. You can walk your elbows in a bit closer, maybe lift your hips higher. Focus on trying to reach the toes up, so you're like a candlestick with flames on your toes reaching for the sky. Squeeze everything to the midline, and wherever you are, we're staying for 3, 2, 1. Really squeeze and lift. And on the exhale, bend one knee and bring the foot to the wall. Whoop, and then the other one joins it. Release the arms by your side, soften all the way down, and just straighten your legs up the wall. Windscreen wiper the feet from side to side, get soft and heavy in the legs for a moment. Let the palms face up by your sides, close down the eyes and come to a natural breath.
breathing in and out. Maybe you take a few clearing exhales through the mouth. Nice, and then take your time to bring yourself back to lying down on your mat. Again, if you need to pause the video, go for it. And come to a totally supine position, just like how we started our practice. Releasing your arms by your sides, close down your eyes, and just let yourself land here for a couple of moments. Just breathing and noticing how you feel. And we're going to come into fish pose, Matsyasana, which is the perfect counter pose for shoulder stand. It can feel quite strong in the fronts of the shoulders, so you can either take a kind of higher version or a softer version. I'll talk you through the options. If at any point it's too much, just come back down to supine, lying on your back. So, and it's also a bit awkward to get into, so you just have to like shimmy your way in and work it out in your body. And every time you find this pose, it will become a little less weird and a little more natural. So don't worry if the first time you're like, okay, Hannah, you're making me do weird stuff with my body and it feels strange. That's fine. The idea is to find a complete opening across the front of the body, and you'll see when we get there. So to start off with, bring your arms long by your side, palms face down, and then just lift up your right hip and bring your right hand, palm face down, underneath it. So your hand is basically like underneath your bum and your fingertips are tickling the back of your hamstring. And this is a bit trickier. Lift up your left hip and bring your left hand under your left glute and hamstring. And the exact positioning is kind of different in everyone depending on the length of your arms, so just try it out. Then bring your feet together, toes point as much as they possibly can. Then lift up onto your forearms. Maybe this is where you like shimmy your hands back a little bit in space. So I brought mine up towards my hips so that only the tips of my fingers are touching the back of my thighs. And then from here, point the toes, find a length through the front body. Just drop the head back, opening in the throat. So for me, the back of the head comes to the earth, but if you're a little bit higher, maybe just the head hangs in space. It is more comfortable if you can get the head to the earth, and also if you need to kind of drop down a little bit, that's fine. But see if you can find this opening across the front body, across the throat chakra, and then breathe here. Whatever breath feels comfortable in the body, pointing the toes, lifting the heart, grounding down to lift up. 3 rounds of breath, inhaling, exhaling. Big breath in, long breath out. Last inhale, long exhale. And then slowly drop your elbows out to the side, soften yourself down. Release your hands from underneath you and bend up the knees, bring the soles of the feet together. Let the knees drop out wide. Supta Baddha Konasana. Left hand comes to heart, right hand to belly. And come back to that deep grounding breath where we started our practice. So nice full inhales. Long earthy exhales. Full breaths in. Long breaths out. Sitting in the stillness. Letting gravity do the work here, opening up the hips. Letting the body slowly soften down. Notice if there's any tension being held in the brow. Often we wrinkle up our forehead when we're concentrating or trying something new, so just observe, no judgment. And see if you can let it melt like honey. So the skin goes really smooth and soft.
And then send that same feeling down into the rest of the body. Softening, melting like honey down into the earth. Last big inhale here. Long exhale. Bring the hands to the outside of the thighs. Just guide them into the midline and then hug the knees up into the chest. Squeeze them in tight. And maybe you take a rock side to side, or you can roll up your nose to meet your knee, squeeze it in. Really come into that little ball, that seed-like shape. Reconnecting with source, grounding in and breathing into this kind of tight, restricted place. So we can breathe when we're open, and we can breathe when we are in the challenge. Practice both, and you will be able to do both when you step off your mat. Last breath in. Slow release on the breath out. Ooh. I've got a knot at my back, so I have to unravel it. And then when you're ready, we're coming into a happy baby play here. So if you know happy baby isn't for you, make your way to Shavasana. If you'd like to try it out in the body, just bring both knees into your hands and just let them hang out wide. So knees are coming out wide and down towards the armpits. And then start to kick the heels up to the sky and bring your hands around the back of the knees, holding onto the backs of the thighs. So it's this opposition between kicking up into the heels, into the soles of the feet, and grounding down, almost pulling down the knees out and wide. Either stick here, finding a gentle rock from side to side, or maybe you reach up to the outside edges of the feet, or maybe the inside edges are easier for you to hold on to. And really here, if you're holding onto the feet, we want that strong opposition between hands pulling down and feet kicking away. So really actually switching on the muscles of the legs. And then let's totally reconnect to the Sanskrit name of this pose, Ananda Balasana, blissful child's pose. So connect to your inner bliss, let a smile play across your face, rock from side to side. If you fall, trust that your mat, that Mother Earth has your back. And then come to center, come to stillness, draw the tailbone away from the crown, find a long line in the spine, take a breath in. As you breathe out, gently release the feet and extend that line all the way down to the feet as they reach out long. Feet windscreen wiper side to side, legs grow heavy. Arms release down by your side. We come into Shavasana, final resting pose. Close down the eyes and let the body soften into the earth. Maybe take a little shuffle of the shoulders under the back body to give you space across the heart. And avoid the temptation to take a lot of movement here. If you need to move a small amount to get comfy, that's fine, but just allow the body straight away to settle into it. And notice how it feels when you're not moving off, when you're not just jumping onto the next thing in your day, when you're sticking with it and landing yourself here, appreciating this moment for what it is. You can come back to your breath here, or just let your awareness fall open and notice what comes up. So just like the forehead softening and melting here. It's like the third eye just falls wide open. And we come back to that seat of the observer. Watching, noticing. Body softening down and earthing here. Breath flowing in and out of the body. If you're not used to a meditation practice or to taking long Shavasanas at home by yourself, you might be feeling distracted, fidgety, busy-minded. Don't worry, no judgment. But just drop that thought that is distracting you in this moment. Come back to this. Come back to this breath. Come back to this feeling. Come back to this body. See if you can really connect to what it is to be here, to be you, right now, just for the last minute or so in stillness. Take a big breath into the body. Send your exhale down into the earth. And then again, your body knows how to wake up, how to start moving. Keep it small, keep it slow. Keep yourself in that seat of the observer. Notice how it feels to bring tiny movements into the extremities. Waking up the body slowly, no forcing ourselves around. Just really mindful movements. Take your time. When you're ready, you might bring your arms overhead, reach into the fingertips, point the toes, take a full body stretch. And again, in your own time, it might feel good to bend knees up into the chest, hug them in tight. When you're ready, just release all the way to one side, fetus pose, side of the body resting down completely into the earth. Feel supported here. And just notice for a minute how you feel in yourself. Use the strength of the arms and the hands on the earth to push your way all the way up to a comfortable seat. Eyes stay closed or close down when you arrive. Hands rest on the lap. Sit up nice and tall and come back to your breath. Nice long inhales. Nice long exhales. Observe the quality of your breath here. Notice if maybe it's changed since the start of practice. And just take a second to appreciate the power of our breath. We can use this tool on our mat, but we can equally take it off our mat. We can use that connection to breath to change how we move throughout our day. Hands come together at heart center. Take a huge breath in together through the nose. Clear it out through the mouth. Thumbs come up to third eye center. And we bow, quietly whispering, Namaste. Namaste, yogis. I hope you enjoyed that practice today. It was an absolute pleasure to guide you through that flow on breath. And my only hope is that you can take just a little bit of what we went through today, what landed with you today, and just take it out into your day, take it off your mat. Let it serve you and let it serve everyone who is touched by your light today.
I hope you have a gorgeous day. See you on the mat soon, or see you right here, next week. Lots of love and light.